Hey crafters, a new edition of D&D is arriving this year, and you should be asking yourself, is this the game that I want to play with my group? With different system styles and group preferences, I have 5 reasons why I think Shadowdark is going to be a better option than D&D. Hey y'all, welcome to Nashcraft. My name is Brady, and today we're going to be going over 5 reasons why I think Shadowdark is going to be a better option for your gaming group rather than the new 2024 Dungeons & Dragons released by Hasbro. Reason number 1, it's really simple to learn for new players and new game masters, or referees. Shadowdark is literally a more accessible game with less text per page, larger font, and streamlined rules, which makes the content easier to digest. This is great for new players and GMs alike, who might feel overwhelmed with the complexity of other systems out there, including the new 2024 Dungeons & Dragons and the previous 5th edition as well. And to be honest, depending on your gaming group, this might be a sort of contentious point. If you're coming from a group that is very accustomed to playing RPG video games or other ttrpgs, maybe Dungeons & Dragons is a complex enough system that y'all can kind of keep a momentum and a pace going throughout your games, which will not sort of hinder your fun or experience. But for someone who likes to play with people that I think would have a good time, someone like my wife, she was unable to get into 5th edition at all. The system was just too complex. There was just too many buttons to press essentially for her. But Shadowdark, it's a much more stripped down version, less things to essentially pick and have to sort of process, and she loves the game. Reason number 2, all games require a game master, dungeon master, or referee essentially to run the game. And Shadowdark is a much easier game to run than Dungeons & Dragons. Streamlined rule system means that there's a lot less moving parts for you to keep track of. The procedural mechanics of gameplay are easy to understand and execute, and there are endless random tables for improv and ideas alike. So that way, you're spending more time playing the game and less time trying to prep and understand the rules. Reason number 3, Shadowdark is less of an investment to get into than Dungeons & Dragons. And this could either be considered through time, as mentioned before, as it's easier to understand. You'll be investing less time just trying to figure out how to play the game. But also, Shadowdark is a much cheaper game to get into as well. For Dungeons & Dragons, you'll typically need 3 books to play, each about $50 to $60. You'll need a monster manual, you'll need the Dungeon Master's Guide, and you'll need the Player's Handbook. And what Shadowdark is able to craftily do is combine all of these 3 books into a sleek and condensed 1-volume book. This book is able to contain both the Monster Manual, Player's Handbook, and Dungeon Master Tips, all in essentially one book. It is a very sleek book, it is fun to read, it is easy to transport and carry around and bring to other people's houses in case you need to play the game or run it for other people. And with a streamlined rules system all put into one book, it'll be much easier on your gaming experience rather than having to flip through 3, 4 different books, trying to figure out what page number you need for what information rather than it all being here in one condensed thing, and they're doing it with less text. I would consider a game like Pathfinder to also be a crunchy, much more complex game. Yes, they have handheld versions of it, but you would need a magnifying glass in order to read it. Reason number 4, the moral high ground in supporting mom and pop shops over corporate behemoths. Let's face it, Hasbro Wizards of the Coast is not in a good light right now. Shadowdark, on the other hand, is an indie product that continues to support indie creators, allowing an open third-party license which creates a wonderful ecosystem for custom content, more stuff for you to play with, and allows you to publish under their third-party content license, so that way you can create content for everyone else to enjoy as well. If you'd like your money to go to real people rather than big wigs, then Shadowdark is going to be the way to go. And finally, reason number 5, look what I can do. Just kidding. And finally, reason number 5 is that it's simply just a funner game. Faster, streamlined rules means more gameplay, means more fun. Trust me, you don't want to be playing rules lawyer in a game that you're just trying to have fun with your friends. The classes and gameplay are simple, but that allows plenty of room for interpretation, which is one of the strong suits of a tabletop role-playing game. Leveling up as a player is always exciting, and who cannot love the carousing rules? So those are 5 reasons you should check out Shadowdark for your next tabletop RPG session. If you want to check out some of the custom supplements that I've made for Shadowdark, please check down in the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Keep crafting.